Every election. So now, because they can't beat me, they got to do this smear campaign to convince public opinion that I'm bad for them.
So you said 2 elections. You were first elected in 2021?
No, 2013 was my first election for trustee. I was a trustee. I sat where they are.
Right.
That's why I know the law.
Thornton Council.
Yes.
Elected mayor 2021.
Yes.
Terms 4 years?
Yes.
Okay. Plans of running for re-election?
I'm running for both my seats. And I'm going to win them.
So, and when is the election for Thornton Township?
2025.
So those elections are at the same time?
They are.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
I could not be here breathing and be comfortable if I was really as bad as they was making it. You know, nobody could be around me. So for me to be this calm, I must have some kind of inner peace. And my inner peace is knowing that once everybody take the time to really see what type of person I am, you'd be surprised that I stuck around this long. I have to make the life that I do live as happy as I can and try to do the best with what I have. You know, live the best life I can live, be as happy as I can be. Nothing is perfect for anybody. I don't.
Boys, I swear, I think I figured it out. You know why they don't want us redneck brothers and sisters and the hood brothers and sisters getting along? You know why? Because we be unstoppable. I'm telling you right now, we would shut shit down.
We will shut shit down. Look, I'm coming in singing. Hold on, let me get myself off the screen. Y'all know I'm my own producer. Get my life together. Blessings, blessings, blessings. Welcome to Uncensored Enlightenment Talk. And you're here with your host, Grace Levi, your friend, your sister, everything above. Grace Levi, welcome. I want to say thank you for being here with me. Now, what I'm going to say is today we're going to focus in on some key information that I want you guys to pay attention to. I'm going to try not to make it boring, okay? I'm going to stick to the facts, and I'm just going to go to one thing. It's only 2 things I'm going to highlight today that I want you guys to help me with. I think I have gotten some information, but I think I need a little bit more. Shout out to Paul, one of the residents in Thornton, who actually highlighted some of this information, which made me say, wait a minute, let's think about it. Now, what we're going to start off with is just a flashback a little bit. Now, you already know that this whole situation entails our super mayor and our super supervisor. So if you don't know, you know I'm going to dig it in a hole who this person is, okay? Before we do that, I want to say shout out to all of my narrators, as we call members, but y'all more than that. I picked you guys because you guys have special skills. I see that you guys have a thrive to want to help Thornton and Dalton, and this is the reason why I picked you guys as being like my moderators. Okay. Also, you support Grace Levi, and I'm grateful for it. So just know that I love you guys. Whatever you have to say, I'm gonna always put it on the screen. Please be truthful to me, like I'm truthful to y'all. If not, anyway, I'm gonna say. Sorry, and it knocked me out the box, y'all. I got these side buttons on my thing, and it just knocked me out. So blessings to Honeymoon, blessings to Babe Solo, Super Mayor Tiffany Hilliard in the building, sister. I'm playing. Anyway, I'm about to get to it right now. So let's do a little quick flashback. I know you guys sick of it, but I am too. But I just want to remind people why we're here and why we're doing these things, because the FBI is subpoenaing. They have a subpoena for Tiffany Henyard and her allies related to a lot of the things that we're going to try to go through on this channel. We're going to stick to the facts. So let's just play this real quick.
WGN Investigates has learned a grand jury will hear testimony on Monday as part of an ongoing investigation.
Here are 3 reasons you're...
Don't you do that to me. Next time, I'm just going to download this video. Let's go.
Henyard's leadership in the South Suburbs.
She's the mayor of Dalton and supervisor of Thornton Township. Investigative reporter Ben Bradley has been detailing her questionable spending for many months, and he has an update.
It's rare for us to be able to give you a front row seat into an active FBI investigation, but recently obtained subpoenas show that's exactly what we've been doing. Those subpoenas reveal agents are investigating many of the same concerns over corruption and cronyism that we've been detailing in our reporting. This is what passes for public debate in Dalton. It's the result of months of frustration over Mayor Tiffany Henyard's leadership.
This administration is shameful. Y'all are a disgrace.
We're watching the fall of this administration.
Yeah,
WGN Investigates has obtained or reviewed subpoenas the FBI served to Thornton Township and Dalton.
And if y'all don't know, we went over that last week, the details of what they're looking for and who they're looking at. If you didn't catch it, I'll definitely put it on the end screen at the end of this video, okay? We like to get into the details here.
Serve as a roadmap to the ongoing federal investigation. They seek payment and expense records for Tiffany Henyard, as well as her boyfriend, who runs a violence prevention program for the township.
Yeah.
Also named Henyard's top aide, Dalton's acting police chief, along with 4 village and township trustees and 2 of Henyard's relatives who are on the government payroll.
They'll turn up more and more information. They'll turn up more leads. They may turn up more witnesses. They may find a cooperator. They may find an informant, all which will benefit the investigation tremendously.
But based on what we know now, if you're Tiffany Henyard, how are you feeling?
I would be nervous.
But there's no foundation in the state of Illinois moving like we moving and shaking, moving like we doing right things.
The FBI also demanding records from the Tiffany Henyard Cares Foundation after we reported
Them legs up high as hell. She was kicking them legs up, huh? You was having fun that day.
at least $10,000 in taxpayer money went to it. And the group used government workers and resources for the charity's walk to Springfield.
And we found out last week that it was about $17,000 that went to pins, trinkets, shirts for these events, on top of the $10,000. And this was out of Thornton's. Okay, this is when she was breaking Dalton down. Okay, this is when she was emptying Dalton's pockets.
After we reported earlier this year the charity had failed to file required financial records, Henyard claimed she had nothing to do with her namesake organization.
All I can tell you is that I'm not the one on anything. That's all that I can tell you right now. So
let's stop right there. Wait a minute. I think I have it up, or did I pull it down? Someone I was talking to today, I'm not going to be telling who I'm talking to. Was it today? And they put me up on this website called Follow the Money. And when I went on the Follow the Money website, they was like, you can find everything. Now, I've been having a hard time finding everything. But when I put Missy name in, what did come up, and we just going to show you real quick, because she says she has nothing to do with this CARES Foundation. But what is this? What is this? I thank y'all for putting me up on Follow the Money. But I was like, that's actually a website? Oh, my God. I just made that up when I had said Follow the Money. And look at this. Okay. So Friends of Tiffany Henyard. Now, I'm going to try to find more information. But when I looked on this website, I was like, oh, we can find everything? Well, look at this shit. Zero. And it's only because of what she actually, gave in, the information they gave in. So there's no information here, but her name is on here. So I wanted to highlight that because Miss Hinyard keeps saying that her name has nothing to do with the CARES Foundation. Isn't that the Tiffany and Friends? So that's on the followthemoney.org website. I'm going to learn a little bit more about that website. Shout out to my amazing followers. I hate calling y'all followers because y'all know. I'm just going to call y'all family. So I'm going to shout out to my family because I don't have followers. I don't want nobody following me. I want you to be your own leader. I need y'all to come help me as I help y'all. Y'all got critical thinking skills. Y'all need to bring y'all smarts over here so Grace Levi can look at it from another perspective. So y'all are not my followers. Y'all are my family because only a few people going to be able to deal with my strong ass. Anyway, let's get back to her saying that the CARES Foundation has nothing to do with her. But as we just put her name in a simple database, what comes up? What comes up, Hinyard? You need to stop lying. Didn't I tell you about Tiffany's I grew up with? Y'all thought I was being stereotypical. I said specifically this Tiffany's, all the Tiffany's I grew up with was attention seeking, want to be in the limelight, big bad liars. I mean, gross liars. Like I told you, one of the Tiffany's I used to be with, her mother was a drug user and she lived with her grandmother and she used to steal from her grandmother to get her nails done, sneak out to be with boys and stuff in the middle of the night. Just trick the old lady. Just trick the lady. She sound like Tiffany to me. Sound like a Tiffany. But let's finish watch this.
Just trying to answer to the.
So you're saying there's a foundation that's not registered, but it has nothing to do with you.
Correct. That's true.
Okay.
That's
So you're not aware of any of the work that they've done, money that they've raised, anything along those lines.
Correct.
The FBI also demanding records.
Tell me about your Tiffany. I hope they was behaved because all the Tiffany I know was a piece of crap.
Related to Henyard's travel. WGN Investigates has reported she and her team frequently travel first class and have stayed at high-end hotels. The cost in the past year, more than $102,000. The FBI wants the receipts and to know the purpose.
I do not handle anything as relates to with credit cards. As you heard me speak today in my board meeting about, I do not handle that.
Some of those charges are for you, though.
No, sir.
You didn't go to Las Vegas?
Ooh, lie. I'm sorry, y'all.
What is that?
No comment.
See, Rich was about to lie. You saw it was about to come out her mouth. So no, look, she couldn't even do that. And you see her face, pleasant, smiling. Don't believe the hype.
You don't know if you were in Las Vegas?
Of course I do.
Look at this bitch.
Were you?
Sorry.
It's not paid by them.
Jesus Christ.
Did you fly first class to Las Vegas?
Any other questions?
Look at her.
And then there's Henyard's top aide in both the village and township, Keith Freeman. He's been charged with bankruptcy fraud for failing to report his earnings from Dalton, but he remains at Henyard's side. We've learned the FBI served a subpoena on Robbins, where Freeman was previously the village administrator. An audit found he received more money than was budgeted.
Clearly, they've targeted several individuals in both the village and the township, and that should be a red flag.
The dysfunction in Dalton also comes with a legal cost to taxpayers. Henyard's attorney recently notified the board he was withdrawing from defending the village in 21 cases because Henyard's opponents have refused to pay his bills. The lawyer warning, without a defense, Dalton taxpayers could be on the hook for more than $20 million. And the cases keep piling up.
That's not Delgado. That's the other guy who's suing them, right?
This month, a Dalton police officer filed suit against Henyard in Dalton, saying he was passed over for promotion. In the lawsuit, the officer alleged it happened.
Jeffrey. I'm sorry, y'all. This is how I get my facts. I can't get it from nobody else. No, y'all rolling in. I appreciate y'all. My family calling. I'm over here like, what does that say, Jeffrey?
After he reported a fellow officer was writing unwarranted tickets to boost revenue for the village.
Look at that.
It's Mayor Henyard completely disregarding the law and disregarding the promotional process in the police department.
Attorney Pat Walsh represents the officer and 3 other current and former employees who are suing Henyard and the village. All 4 lawsuits essentially accuse Henyard of misusing her political power.
Mayor Henyard is on an island of lawlessness and is just doing whatever she thinks will benefit her personally and politically, rather than following the laws and doing what would benefit the village of Dalton and the residents of the village of Dalton.
You said it right. I had to laugh. He said she is on an island of lawlessness. Like she has so much moving parts around her that is that she's liable for and that she may get in trouble for. And that's why I had to laugh. He said she is on an island of lawlessness with her and her co-defendants. And her other residents that she's paying on YouTube to cause chaos. Message allegedly burgundy blue. Shots fired.
What's more remarkable,
This live is not for that, but I just wanted to throw that out there. Sorry.
Henyard's opponents were her running mates just a few years ago.
You ran on my ticket, y'all ran on my vision. The vision wasn't to rob the city. The vision wasn't for the FBI. The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money.
The vision wasn't for you to steal all the money. And we're going to leave it like that. Go ahead, Miss Belcher. Tell her like it is, okay? The vision was not for you to steal all the money. So let's go down this path of following the money. You know, it's hard for us to follow the more money in Dalton because nothing is transparent in Dalton. It's a big marked difference on the website of how things are presented. I do like Thornton's financial section. You know, I found a lot, baby. I still got more. But what I don't like, I'm going to tell you what I don't like. This information does not go prior to 2000, and I'm going to say really 2021 detail. Now we have a comprehensive analysis report that we're going to get to so we can, I'm going to show you some details. That was one of the best reports that I saw, and it's easy to comprehend, and is the information is there. You can see it. There's a few particular categories that we're going to focus in tonight, which is revenue and expenses. Okay. Now we do have 3 or 4 different funds, which is a general fund, a general assistance funds, a park or waterworks funds. We're going to get into it. So there are different funds there. So we're just going to focus on the general funds. Okay. Now, this is the website. I want you guys to go ahead, take the information yourself, rewatch this video, print this stuff out, whatever you need to do, and look at it yourself to see what Grace Levi is talking about and what I'm questioning here. Now, this is the audit for 2021. Hold on one second. One of these things, let me go to this. Let me see. Because I didn't download that paper, but it was one paper that was on Miss Tony's page. Miss Tony is a YouTube content creator, and she's actually one of our mediators here. And Miss Tony went to the board meeting, and that's what made me, well, I didn't know this was the same person, but we end up her being the same person. Now I'm just going to go to my community channel, where I had posted that particular picture of how the budget increased when I said follow the money, and it looked like it was between 2019 to 2020. Let me see, can I just pull that up real quick, because I don't have it downloaded on my computer, so I got to go to my community screen. So let me see, do I got it? Because I was like, whoa, where did this come from? There we go. Let's get it on the screen. Now, this is what made me say, what the hell happened here? This don't make no damn sense. Now, this is on my community page. We posted this a couple of weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and this is from Miss Tony's video. This is when she was there at the Thornton meeting. This particular picture really caught my eye. I wish I could pull it up. You're just going to see right here. Actually, between 2022 and 23 is where the negative deficit changed. I learned a little bit more about this paper because I was thinking like this was like the deficit and this was how much they had, but it was actually how much was like bought in. So I want y'all to look at that. Just looking at this grid right here is going to tell y'all it's a problem. If y'all know anything about stocks, bonds, if y'all go in and look for a 3-month grid, 1-year grid, and y'all see some shit like this, you better think about it. Slow down. You may want to do a little investment because it may look like the market is going up, but you need to figure out what's going on with this business and why it was going down for so long and the trends is going up. I'm just talking generally when we talk about graphs. I can just look at the graph and say, what the is going on around here? Okay. So what I have done is actually I went into 2021, 2022, and 2023 audit. This is the audit paper. Hold on, which one I want to do? I'm going to do the general audits, and then we're going to go into the one that is the general funds. Now, I want you guys to understand this first. Look at it. Understand this, okay? This is the audits. Can y'all see it? That is the audits that has been. This is the budget report. This is a tentative budget report for 2025. They're making that now. We're going to go into that in a later date. This is the budget and ordinance. Now, right here is where I went into on the second part and went into just general funds for each year. Each one of these have separate funds. Okay, so you have the road and bridges, general funds, general assistance funds, road and bridges, general funds, general assistance funds. So at least we know they have 3 different funds in Thornton. Okay, that's going to give you an idea of what goes to what when we start to go in detail. We're looking at the general funds. Okay, so this is what we're going to go into 2024, 2023, and we're going to go into 2022. I'm just going to read a few things off of that, and then we're going to go into the comprehensive report, because that's where you're going to see where this is the comprehensive analysis report from 2017 to 2024. Okay, that's the one we're going to look at, so we can be able to cross compare it. Okay, so you guys can get a better feeling of what's going on. That's why I like the comprehensive report, because you'll get both years right next to each other. Okay, now let's get to it. Let me see. Let's get to it. We're going to put financial highlights of 2021 up there. I'm just going to read this short section, and we're going to do financial highlights for 2022 and thereof. Okay, let's make this make sense. Now, this is Thornton Township, Illinois management discussion and analysis for February 2021. As a management of Thornton Township, we offer the readers of Township financial statement. This narrative overview, the analysis of financial activities of the township in the fiscal year ending 2021, February 2021. We encourage readers to consider the information presented here as in conjunction with the township financial statement, which follows this section. Okay, so this is just a little summary. Now, financial highlights, the assets, this is 2021. Now, remember, we saw an increase. Let me make sure I'm saying it right. Yeah, it was an increase between 2020, 22, and 23. But you're going to see that things start to change between 2021 and 22, because there is an infusion of money that came from somewhere. Okay, and I found one of the places, but I need you guys to find the rest. Okay, help me. So, financial highlight, the assets plus deferred overflow to the township exceeded its liabilities plus deferred inflow at the close of the most recent fiscal year of $44,896,000 net position. Of this amount, $15,484,851 is invested in capital assets. So you have about 15 million of that 44 is just investments. So you need to subtract that. Okay, you subtract the 44 from the 15. Okay, so we're about at 29,000. I'm just giving y'all ballpark 29 million. Okay, I'm just giving y'all estimates, ballpark number. So that 15 million is in assets. That's like properties, buildings, that type of stuff. And 9 million, and I'm rounding this up because it's 9,666,300. 9 million is restricted for other purposes. So together we actually have 24 million of the 44 million that's restricted. That's either in assets or restricted for some other use. Now the township unrestricted net position, like I said, I was about to say about 20 million. I do apologize. Which may be used to meet the government outgoing obligation, was a surplus of 19.747. Just know, when you hear surplus, just know that's the budget. It's just the budget. You're not in the hole. This was 2021. Now, like I said, something is missing because we don't have 2017, 18, 19. And that's where around where you right after 2019, there's an infusion of money. 2019 and 2021, what was that, guys? COVID. What did we have? A lot of infusion of money into different governments because there was not money flowing anywhere and governments needed to stay active. Okay, so there seemed to be a deficit before 2019 or lack thereof, monies coming in enough to pay for what was going out in Dalton. Okay, this is what I kind of got a idea of when I was looking at that paper that we showed you earlier, because obviously they don't have 2008, 17, 18, 19 on here for me to evaluate, but something happened. Obviously, they was not meeting the deficit at that. I mean, was not meeting the budget at that time, but it's not up here to prove. So that's allegedly. Okay. Now, at February 28th, 2021, the unsigned funds balance for the government funds under the general funds were at a surplus of $6,694,000. So basically, after they paid out, I guess about 10 million in 2021, and that's what we saw on that paper, they had a surplus of $6,694,000. Okay. Does that make sense? That's what we were seeing in that paper that we showed you from Miss Tony's page. All right. I hope y'all can see this. I'm trying to keep myself on the screen and y'all see the paper, but if not, y'all need to go print this out yourself. We are February. We're on the Thornton, Illinois 2021. Excuse me, y'all, because that's telling me to get my butt online. I'll be having to keep my alarms on, make sure I get my shit done. So I got online a little early today. So now we see what happened in 2021. We're still questioning where some of this money is coming from. And when we get into the general funds paper a little bit, we're going to see where some of this money is coming from. I was like, where's this money's coming from? So you could go into detail here in this report. And this goes into like some of the liabilities, the assets. These are more detailed numbers, but I'm going to try to get to the nitty gritty. Now, this is program revenue. These are some revenue in 2021. But I think I want to go to the easier paper for you guys to see. Let's just move on. So we're going to get to the comprehensive one. So all of these big old crazy numbers can make some sense for you. So you already know that in 2021, there was a surplus of about $6 million, but we cannot figure out what happened in 2021, 2020, 2019, because we saw on that paper that they did not have a surplus. Okay. Now this is 2000. Oh, wait, is this? This is 2020. Let me see. Do I got 2020? You may got 2020 here. No, that's still 2021. Oh, that's the same one. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to move. I have to move this stuff because I have so many screens up there. All right, let's get to 2022. Okay, we don't have 2020. Now this is 2022. So we did 21 and now 22. I hope you guys are following what I'm saying here, okay? Because I know this information could be a little bit dry, but y'all need to understand what's going on in Thornton. So when y'all go to these meetings, y'all can ask some real questions and not let the finance director just throw shit towards you when they're like, baby, wait, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you something. All right. So here, trying to make it bigger. Is this better? I think that's better. How about that? Again, this is 2022. We're highlighting just the general funds, okay? The focus of the township government funds is to provide information on near-term inflow, outflow, and balance of spending resources. Such information is useful to assess the township financial requirements. In particular, unassigned funds balance may serve as a useful measure for the government net resource availability for spending in February 2022. So that unassigned money is some of the things that Thornton Township residents are concerned about, because that unassigned money may be the money that Ms. Hilliard is just spending recklessly. Okay, if I can show it, you're going to see some increase in spending between 2022 and 23 and 24, I think, when we get to that page. Okay, so there has been some increase in spending with Thornton. So there, Thornton trustees and residents, you do have something to think about. All right, so we know what the general funds is there for. It is useful to know what the basically the money that's not tied up into anything is used for. As of the end of the current fiscal year, the township, now listen to this, the township governmental funds report culminating in fund balance of $13,140,400,694, a decrease of $3,294,000 from the previous year. Now, this is the end of the fiscal year, but this, hold on. When you see the 13, remember there's money that's assigned that you restricted and money that you could spend. Okay? All right. So the fund balance in the general fund decreased by $4 million the next year. So between 2021 to 2022, $4 million decrease in the general funds. Okay. And this is while we're getting infusions of money. Okay. Somebody's spending something from the prior year due to the shortfall of revenue compared to expenditure, because there wasn't a lot of money coming in, allegedly, they said. But how did they have more money in 2021 and 22 when that was in the middle of COVID? That's the shit I'm thinking. Like, where's this money coming from when you just said it was a decrease of revenue? And we're gonna go into where the revenue is coming from, because a lot of it, baby, it's coming from y'all taxes. And if this paper that I saw highlight what they taxing y'all on, I don't like it, because I got my tax papers right here just to pull it up, y'all. And I'm like, I'm comparing to what they tax Thornton. I don't like that shit. It's too much. Anyway, we're gonna get to it. Now, we already know that allegedly what they're saying here is that the government funds, it looked like there was a decrease of about $3 million increase of spending. Okay. Now let's move on. Funding balance in the general fund decreased $4 million from the prior year due to a shortfall of revenue, allegedly, and to expenditures. Revenue decreased by $784,000 in comparison to prior year. So again, the revenue, this is what I'm telling you guys, the town survives by revenue, not by grants and not by loans. So we're going to pay attention to the revenue that's coming in. And there's not much revenue coming in. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe I'm lying, because I had saw them put some stuff for 2023 and 24. I don't know where that revenue came from, but we're going to look at it, okay? I was like, wait. I'm kind of like remembering some of these documents in my head. Now, so there wasn't, like they said, there was a decrease of revenue, and that's one of the things that the town needs to make money, not just loans and not just grants, because grants could be high one year and low the next year. Expenditures were higher than the prior year of $1,800,022, so close to $2 million more in expenditures due to increase in salaries and benefits and constructural service. Hint, hint, hint. It didn't say increase in community services, programs, etc. This $2 million in expenditure in 2022 allegedly happened in Thornton on this paper that you need to read yourself, was related to an increase in salaries, benefits, and constructural service. So please, Thornton, please tell me what you have been getting done fixing Thornton, because we know Dalton, structural wise, there's a lot that need to be done. Okay. Is they taking some of y'all money? Let's see. I'm just throwing stuff out there. That's allegedly, but I'm just throwing stuff out there. Structure wise, Thornton, tell me what has been being done out there. We know that in Dalton they have been cutting the trees, allegedly fixing the pipes, the eroded pipes, and what else they've been doing? Beautifying the skating ring, that type of stuff for Tiffany Henyard. Now, so they do, just to highlight about the General Assistance Fund, because it is a separate fund. General Assistance Fund saw an increase of $922,000, which is attributed to more revenue received from the USDA commodities. I need you guys to highlight this. USDA commodities. I had to do a little research. So General Assistance Funds is actually incorporated into the general funds. General Assistance Funds are funds that come in. This is money received. So there was about $922,000 in the year of 2022 that was infused into the budget by the USDA. Let's just highlight. And we'll get into the road and bridges funds. That's something separate, but follow the money, baby. Follow the money. Let me see. Can I get some of your comments up there? The finance director, he works for Tiffany. They're gonna put that guy that she was bullying, the one that she was talking to like crap. he probably just don't like to be in the front of the limelight, and she just a bully. You know what I'm saying? And she probably told him just to read the numbers that would make you guys shut up. And that's what he did. So I'm not gonna totally put it on him, because these financial records for Thornton, y'all actually received the award. Allegedly, they said they wanted to award y'all for 2022, I think, for the best comprehensive financial document up there. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna keep it real. So we did 2022, 2021. If you guys don't understand what I've said, please press rewind and get the document out yourself so it can make sense to you guys. Okay. Now we're going to get into, now these are the brief summaries that we're just getting into, the financial highlights. I'm just getting into that, into some numbers so we can ask some basic questions, because I don't want to bore y'all. But then we're going to get into the other one where I start to see the infusion of money. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. Hey, but oh, the man right there. All right. So this is 2023. We're moving on up. The budget pamphlet was sugar coated with unnecessary photos. Let's get to the actual budget. Now, Kathy, I will say this. I like photos. I like graphs. And that budget that they have for 2022, I think, or 3, it had graphs in it, and the graphs makes it much easier for you to kind of get an idea of what's going on, and then you go comprehensively into what you're looking for. Graphs are good, I promise you, Kathy. I know it looks childish, but it is. This is how the stock market works. This is how they ain't looking at all these. They look, oh, the graph went this way, that way. Oh, this right here, right. So the graphs actually helped me, made it make sense. Honestly, I appreciated them. Like, it's like a dumbing down. It's condensing the information into a better form, especially if you're presenting this information to a board or something. To go through all 98 pages is not realistic, and people are not going to pay attention. So now let's get into 2023 financial highlights. The assets plus deferred outflow of the township exceeded its liabilities. Again, the outflow exceeded its liabilities plus deferred inflow at a cost of most recent fiscal year $44,903,000 net position. Of this amount, 17 million, I'm just going to say 17 million, is invested in capital assets, about the same. 17 million is tied up in property, houses, things like that. They're liquidatable, but not right now. So take that 17,000 out. And capital investment in 10,000 is restricted for other purposes. Let me go back. What did they say? How much was restricted before? I'm just trying to go back. I'm not going to show y'all, but I'm going to just go back. I'm trying to see how much was restricted before. Combination under the fund surplus. In 2020, the government surplus combined. Okay, where was the restriction? Hold on, I'm just trying to look at the restriction. Before the restriction, the fund balance. Okay, so I think the restriction was about 13,000 before. The restriction was 13,000, and those restrictions probably have to do with money's out, things that they have to pay. Like people's like each organization's person payroll and those type of stuff. That's where the money is restricted for, just to give y'all a heads up. I'm sorry, I had to jump back. So basically it's saying 17,000 or 10,000, 10 million is restricted out of this budget. So we have, oh my God, I'm just going 17 plus 10, that's 27 million that's restricted. 44 you have totally in there. I'm trying to do my math here. Okay, bear with me. So you have about 17 million to actually use. In that 17 million, that's what it says right here. The township unrestricted net position, which may be used to meet the government ongoing obligation, was at a surplus of 17 million. Just know it's $17 million budget. So the township total net increase position was only 1,754,000. So I'm gonna give them 2 million. Okay, that was the increased net position from 2022 to 2023. I'm just going to make sure that I'm comparing it See, it's hard to compare when you're looking at different pages. When we get to the next page, when I show you the other one, it's going to all the comparisons on the same thing. So it's just a little harder because I got to go back. So 2020, we know 2022, they had increase in expenditures. And that was related to the salary, benefits, and contractual service. Let me see what was the expenditures here. Did they highlight here? They didn't highlight this in 2023 extra expenditures, but they did highlight that the general fund was at a surplus of 5 million allegedly. Okay. So just know those unrestricted funds, sometimes they are tied up to certain things, and that does not mean that that's the money to spend willy-nilly. I think that was some of the money that Tiffany Henry has been spending willy-nilly. So are y'all getting an idea of how this general fund budget kind of work? Okay, we got to highlight the money's coming in, the money's coming out. Okay, and those monies coming in comes from allegedly investments, taxes, grants, and loans, and other things. Okay, and that's what we're going to get into in one second. Let's get into, okay, okay. Now, what we're going to get into is the 2017 to 2023 audit report comparison. Now, this is where it's going to be a little bit easy to pay attention. What is the budget for the food pantry? I got to figure out where does it fall into. Most likely the food pantry goes into the general funds, or the food pantry supposed to be getting money from the USDA grants. We're going to get into that, baby. That's probably where some of that food pantry money supposed to come from. Did they get it? I'm glad you asked that question, Kathy. You on point, Booski. We're going to answer that question. We're not going to answer it. We're going to probably add more questions to what's going on at this point. All right. So this is the audit report compared. Now, we already showed you where we got that information from. This is a 24 page. It makes it more better. It's more comprehensive. So it makes a little bit more sense. It's an easier read for us. All right, let me see what I wanted to highlight on here. See, got the graphs up there. Don't be mad at the graphs, Kathy. That other report is 96 pages. You ain't see no damn graphs there. I had to really get into it like, okay, let me figure this out. So I still have way more to go into. So this was the general one that you guys saw, I guess, at the meeting. And I'm still trying to determine, is this y'all tax bill? Is this an example Cook County electric bill? This is the second installment property tax bill, Cook County electric bill. What is this, y'all? Can somebody tell me? Because if this is what's on y'all taxes, I'm mad as hell. And Tiffany not lying. Because if she said something about a college, South Suburban College, I said, ain't no damn college under no school taxes. And it is. Y'all paying some taxes towards the college too, right here. I said, what the Then it's Thornton Township High School, South Highland School District. That's 3 different schools. That's just under the school taxation. Then y'all have municipal miscellaneous taxation. South Cook Mosquito Abate Harvey. I don't know what that is. Metro Water Reclamation District of Chicago. You're giving money to that. I never heard of these things. Now I understand I'm not out there, but damn. When they say y'all pay the most taxes, is this y'all tax bill? Okay. Girl, this is, oh my God, this is terrible. So when Tiffany Henry says that the township only get a certain amount of money, this is what she was talking about right here, based on how much you pay taxes. If you pay $1 in taxes, you only giving 5 cents to the township. Nobody want to hear that. Nobody want to hear that shit. This is too much. So this is the municipality township, Southern Highland. The library, she wasn't lying about that. Y'all paying taxes on the South Highland Library Fund. On my tax paper, I don't got that. I got my tax paper right here. I ain't gonna put it on the thing, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I got on mine because I'm going after my city because I don't like the way. Just like here, let me show y'all something. Y'all need to ask this damn question too because I asked this. There is a rate of tax for each entity up here. And what I noticed is that the school rate of taxes is high as hell. Why is the school rate taxes so high and these kids stupid? Excuse, you know what it is. These kids not learning. These kids not learning. Look at y'all tax rate. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. You see rate right here, rate. That's what y'all need to pay attention. Thornton Township High School got a 7.071% rate. South Highland School District has 5.7. You compare that to these other rates right here, and then right here, Village of South Highland, just outside of the school, y'all have a 4.361 rate, tax rate. That's a fucking lot. Now that's compared to these other tax rates. Let me just give you an example. Now what she's saying is that the Thornton Township is only getting 0.574 tax rate. Does that make sense? So whatever your house is worth, this is how much is taxed for each organization. And I will hope that is not on a full fair market value, because they definitely gonna burn y'all. Does that make sense? Do y'all understand, homeowners, what I'm saying? Because I've been paying tax for years, and usually it's a certain portion of the fair market value at a tax rate. The tax rates for y'all school is high as hell, and I'm talking, and my tax rate for my school high as hell too. I'm mad too. Hold on one second here. I'm in Henry County. So basically, like probably a few years ago, the assessed value for my property was about $250,000. They only did about 80%, $80,000 in value they taxed. So with that portion of taxes, the school taxable value was shit. I'm telling you about mine. It was 20.0, and the county school bond is 3.11, and my Henry County tax is 11.4 amount rate. Oh my God, y'all know I'm contesting shit too. I'm not playing right here. I got paperwork. This is my paperwork for my own taxes in my county. So that's why I'm interested in this, and that's why I know what the hell going on, because I'm contesting my shit too. My thing is that how you have such a high tax rate for these schools, and one, these schools are not even in standards. These schools are not even doing good. And what is the difference, and what law support that? That's what I'm coming at. I just wanted to show y'all. I don't like this. If this y'all tax bill, y'all need to start asking some questions. So they got Cook County taxes here. Now Thornton, you gotta Thornton and Dalton, please. If y'all can look at y'all tax bill and say, Grace, that's not our tax bill, I would love it, because I don't know what all of this is. If this is on one town tax bill and y'all getting taxed for Cook County and all this other extra stuff, it's ridiculous. That's why y'all have the highest tax rate. Y'all have the highest tax rate. So basically in this bill right here, and I think this is the example, this person taxes for 2022 is $5,939. I'm complaining about my tax bill being $1,900. That when I got here, my tax bill was $900 and change, and I wanted to stay like that. Now, if it was $5,900, I imagine what if you had a mortgage, how much more your mortgage costs, because you need to have that money in escrow to pay the taxes and the insurance on your home. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And what we're going to show you in the other document is that the tax revenue looks like it increased from 2022 to 2023, and it's going to continue to increase. Something is going on. Okay. So let me see. Now, this was the paper, change in funds balance. Okay. Y'all got it? Is it up there? Okay. The man right there. All right. So you see this? This is what we're missing. I'm missing pretty much almost all of this information. And it says change in fund balance, it decreased. So it was decreased, because money was just spending. So this wasn't totally like, oh, it's a deficit. Y'all, 2 million deficit. This was the decrease in fund balance. But right here doesn't give you the full picture of how much the fund balance, because right here is missing. That's why we like graphs, okay? Because right here, you see this, Kathy, the green is fucking missing the total. So we can't compare it to nothing. And this is a half-ass graph, okay? He tried to trick us. He may need to be fired, Kathy. Because I was like, what the? Okay, how can I get the rest of the information from this graph? So, but as you can see, from 2022 to 2023, there wasn't a decrease. There was an increase in fund balance. But I do want you to know that the infusion took place here. I can see the infusion of money that came in here. That's why this was like this. Okay, guys. Change in fund balance. That's road and bridges. Road and bridges been doing good. Okay. So that is okay. What is this? This is the comprehensive one. All right. This is general funds. This is the comprehensive audit from 2017 to 2024 with an unaudit of 2024. Can you see this document, everybody? Everybody, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. I will be putting your comments up there. Do y'all want me to get to your comments now before I get to this document? Do y'all like the live? Because sometimes when I go into this dry content, I'll be like, they not gonna pay attention. But this is what it is, y'all. Y'all need this. So let me just go into some of the comments. Steve Stacks in the house. Blessing. Y'all giving shout outs to each other. Y'all amazing. The budget pamphlet was sugar coated with unnecessary photos, as what they said. I kind of went into that, the necessity of it, but everybody has their own way of looking at things. I ain't mad at you, Kathy. You must got them robotic eyes. You like to me. I like to give me some highlights, give me some circles. Shit, I ADHD. I'll be like, wait, I'm going to sleep. No, all right. Hunter, whenever he reads the numbers, his voice shakes. Who Hunter? Oh, that guy. Oh, yes, the budget guy, because he nervous. He gonna try to focus in on the stuff, because if he say the wrong stuff, he was gonna get that ass. That's what was gonna happen. And we're gonna get into the budget for the food pantry. I can't give you the specific budget, but I can give you an idea possibly where the money was coming from. And did y'all get anything? Let's see. Follow the money. I'm just putting y'all comment. If y'all come up here and y'all comment, I'm gonna pick the comments out, put y'all up there, y'all. Y'all part of the family. Y'all part of this broadcast. Dan always speaks for the youth when Kamal is over the apartment. Yeah. Oh, thank you for bringing that up. Before we get into this document, I happened to come across a video about Calumet City. Is that about 10 minutes away from Dalton? That was turned up. Turned up, gang. I'm like, yo, I'm watching it because there's a blogger that's out there going place to place, talking to these hood dudes, these trying to get them to a higher level of thinking, things like that. Put out some righteous talking between them, and he's kind of doing what Zach the Stoner was doing. If I told y'all Zach from Chicago, if y'all don't know who he is, he passed away around the Kanika Jenkins case. He was basically a YouTuber who was going around, going to gang places, just trying to talk to them about what they doing, why they doing it, trying to unite the gang. So this guy is doing it. And what I would say, there is a problem. If Calumet City got that, what they was talking hot mess. Dalton too. So next week we're going to get into a little bit of the crime. We're going to do a reaction video to that and see what else I can find, because that's what you guys need to focus on. Get on Lacey Chicken Legs Lacey, about where's the comprehensive plan to combat the gangs that's building up there. These kids are shooting each other. They have nothing to do. What the hell is Kamal Wood's program? Where's his programs? What is he doing? You know what they be doing sometimes. I'm just throwing out the conspiracy mind. Sometimes they'll have these people like that used to be gang members come out and try to like be the mediator, because they know the gangs, they know how to talk to people, and they end up fueling the gangs and shit and corrupting the government. I'm just throwing some shit out there. That's my sirens. So I'm going to get off of that, because we're going to get into it, because if Kamal Woods is over the youth out there, we're going to highlight what's going on. We ain't going to stop talking. We're not going to stop highlighting the facts. So thank you for bringing that up, babes. Love you. We're going to get into that next week. Definitely need to know and learn how the graph works. Yeah. So if y'all want me to go into the graph, we could go into the graph too, but we're going to get into this information here, because this is going to be a compare and contrast of all these years. And it's going to make some sense. It looks much better than what I was doing. Does the pantry get donation from local groceries? Can anybody tell me that? Do the pantry get? Most likely they probably do. I would assume so, because Tiffany here ain't doing nothing. She's trying to create her own. And that is the tax bill for homeowners? Please tell me. Please tell me no. Because that was looking terrible. Is it Steve, what's up? I want to say I love you. I heard you going out there on Monday. They having a meeting. Please record. I hope you can. I don't know if you could you want me to stream it for you, I would. If you got a YouTube page, please. We want to keep up with what's going on. I'm grateful for you, Steve. You are such a wholehearted person. I mean, literally, this is what Thornton and Dalton need. Instead of these actors that's out there causing trouble, it's literally people from outside the state coming in to help. Shout out to Steve. Shout out. Love you. Have you ever seen a tax bill for Long Island, New York? No. And I bet you it's more outrageous because I had taxes out there when I worked out there during the COVID. Baby, the tax lady called me. She was like, excuse me, ma'am, because I did my own taxes. She was like, I just think you need to change your status because if you put that you're a resident out here, you're going to owe us a lot of money. I was like, okay, what do I do? And I had to put like a non-resident worker or something, emergency worker, so I could save on taxes. So I could imagine. She called me to save my life. I ain't never get a tax lady call my phone. I was like, hello? It was like New York. I was like, hello? Steve, that's how they get revenue. More detail, y'all, so I can put it up there and we all know what you're talking about. Let's put this up there. Clark, shout out to you. Never saw you before. Welcome to the platform. I have a mentor from my past who lived in a town in the western part of the township and wants to move, but is running into all kinds of hell with the taxes. Where? What? In what township? Thornton? Dalton? Which one? Taxes is a problem for everyone. And interest. That's what I'm saying. Like, we a deep doodle middle class. That's why we need to know this shit. They setting us up for failure. Thank you so much, Steve. I love you. I appreciate you. Look, Steve, I know you that type of person that like details. The people who here, y'all like details. So I appreciate you. Okay? Y'all my family. What else can I put up before I start going in? Super thief. And a low down liar. Who we talking about? Tiffany Henya, Rasta. Welcome to the page. All right. The renters pays their rent and the owners keep the taxes paid so far. All right. So now we're about to get into it. Let's get into this document real quick. I'm going to make it bigger, make myself smaller. And we're going to do a compare and contrast because there's just a few things that I just want to highlight, okay? And we're going to highlight the grants, baby. That's what I want to really highlight. So here is the general fund, as you can see, revenue and expenses. This is all I want to highlight today. We got 2017 all the way to 2024. These property tax, let's just look at this, guys. This is not detailed. This is just on face value. 2017, it was $7 million. I'm gonna estimate $8 million in revenue that came from tax in Thornton. Each year it increased, except for 2020. Well, no, each year it stayed about the same. I do apologize. It stayed about the same, at or about the same, about $8 million, because I'm around it, until we get to 2022. Somehow it dropped. And I think that's probably because we may have some type of tax credit or something. When we get detailed into 2021 report, we'll see what happened. But that was probably the time that people couldn't pay their damn taxes because we were in the thick of it. We were in the thick of COVID. 2023, as you can see, coming out of COVID, the revenue is about at the same. We're getting back to $8 million. It is 2024, guys. Do you see this number right here? Unaudited expected taxes to come in. Property taxes for Thornton is $10 million. $10 million. Please tell me, how did it jump from 8 million to 10 million? That means that taxes has went up, or they were just able to collect more funds from y'all in 2023. Please tell me what's going on here. This is one of the things that highlighted to me. Like Miss Tiffany said, the taxes didn't go up, this, that, and the third. They looked at or about the same for the last few years until something happened between 2023 and 2024. There's only two scenarios I can think. Either the county was able, the township was able to collect more money, back taxes that was due, or the taxes went up. Now, this is right here for the personal property taxes. Now, we're going to have to revisit this personal property taxes because these numbers are weird. Now, personal property taxes is saying the audit for 2017, it was $257,000. That's not even a million. 252,000 the next year, 244,000, 316,000 in 2020, which was a lot, which was more collected. Then you're going to see in 2021, it was 271 million. Then something happened with personal taxes on property in 2022. It went from 271 million to 520 million. Now, we're going to go into detail on a later date about these because I know these numbers probably scramble in your damn brain. But in 2023, that $520,000 doubled to $1,066,000 personal taxes. What does that mean? So we want to get into that. But I just want you guys to see that something is changing. This is revenue that's coming in for Thornton. So that personal taxes and taxes is related straight to you guys, period. Y'all are paying the most, giving the most revenue in Thornton. Now, let's get into two more interesting things. Rental income. I guess Thornton owns some property. For the last 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, for 6 years, y'all had about an average of what? 6,000, except for in 2019, y'all had 37,800. Where the hell did that number come from? And why is it not consistent for 2020? Is the numbers being fluffer here? Is something happening? See, things like this make me ask, what the hell is going on? This right here doesn't make sense. Does that make sense to you guys? Can y'all see the highlight? How did the rental income, whatever properties that Thornton have, decreased between this time? It can't do that fast. And then you get to 2023, it's none. It's no possible income for 2024. Because right here, so you telling me 2019 they bought property and sold it at the same time? I'm just trying to figure this out. That's well, you see, I gotta get two sides of it. It gotta make sense. Only way is if they bought the property 2019 and they sold it. We got questions here. These some of the questions you need to ask because I can't get them answered because I'm not there. But Steve is going to be there. Steve, you're going to Dalton, right? Well, the next door to me, and y'all need to ask these. Okay, so now investment income. This is important income. I don't know what y'all invested in Thornton. When I get into the detailed audit, I'll probably be able to see specifically. But in 2017, y'all had a net investment income of $44,000. This is a damn town. Okay? I'm not being funny. Now, this sounds like an individual should have this type of investment income, but I'm going to shut up. Okay? I didn't make $44,000 yet on my investments yet. So I'm going to shut up. But I don't think a town should be having this little money, but that's my opinion. In 2018, that investment income trickled down to $28,000. Something had, okay, it got to be property sold here, bought and sold. They took some of that infusion money probably and sold and bought property. Look at this. Now, investment income went up to $387,755. And that's the same time that the rental income went up to $37,800. Somebody bought property here and somebody sold property. So you guys could pay attention to that. Did the residents actually benefit from this property? Did it go to the residents or did it go to an outside source? Is this one of the foundations of gentrification? I just got to throw that out there because I do like us selling and buying property in communities, but I think it should go to us because that's how they sold out Newark. And then all the corporate entities came in and this is bullshit. Okay? Got it? They had us all broke down all the projects. People moved and scattered all over the place, couldn't afford to live nowhere. So something happened in 2019, and I'm going to show you that when we get to the general funds detail. We 1 hour into this. That's good. I thought this live was going to be short, but damn, once I start talking about numbers, I just keep on going. So do y'all see Y'all, can y'all ask these questions for Grace Levi for yourself? What happened in 2019? And y'all gonna get more information from me here, so y'all can focus in. But then y'all need to ask some more questions. So interest on income, barely anything. From 2019 to 2024, y'all didn't get no interest. So basically, these are just some of the things that I highlight. But this is the next most important. Grants. Let's get to the grants. Okay. Now, in 2017, and we don't have this paper, there was a grant of $426,000 infused. We don't know where it came from because we don't have the paper online. 2018, another grant was infused for $178,000. 2019, another grant was infused for $143,000. I'm rounding this for you guys. 2020, now this is all around at the time of COVID. Y'all let me know if Tiffany Henyard was your supervisor at this time. 2023, the grants were less. 2020, I do apologize. And that's around COVID. You know, shit was slow. Nobody was functioning. 38,000. 2021, that's when the government started to stimulate these counties, these states, and give an initiative and the COVID restrictions. Thornton had an infusion of 422,731. Now we can see where that number increased on that paper. Now you can see where between 2021, 22, and 23, where numbers are starting to increase. So in 2021, they had a grant for 422,000. In 2022, Thornton had another grant for $947,000, close to $1 million. Ding, 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 ding. Mr. Paul, I think we got some of the money you were talking about. So that's what he said, between 2021 and 2023, he said about $4 million was infused. Now, I'm still trying to figure out. Somebody said 40. Yesterday when they were doing the other day where Jedediah was doing the trivia, I thought it was 3 million. He said 440. I'm not sure where I'm finding the 40, but if I find the 40, I'm gonna show y'all. At least we're getting close to the 3 million right here. I can see the 3 million, close to 3 million being infused. At least we got half of it right here, and more to come in. Look at this. Where is this money coming from? Follow the money. Follow the money. So just let me just finish my statement. 2022, $947,000 went infused in a grant into the Township of Thornton's general fund. In 2023, it went back down to 128,000 because guess what? These big COVID incentives went out the window. Now, we need to figure out what the hell is going on in 2024. These numbers right here, not right. I don't know what's going on, but it's saying that the grants for 2024, I guess, expected to come in is $6,499,000. We're going to keep our eye on this. I never saw it in my life. Let's highlight it. Where is this coming from? This is what I want to know. Okay? We're going to keep our eye on that, but this was the numbers I was telling you. Paul, these are the infusion of money. This is the infusion of money. Now, when we get into detail, we're going to get into, I at least found where one of the grants came from. So please go on to the comprehensive page on the Thornton's audit, the one all the way at the bottom, so you can see this yourself. So this don't even make no damn sense. Now, the total revenue, I'll just get to the total revenue. That's why this right here, it can't be right. They fudged the numbers for 2014. No way. Basically, total revenue for each year kind of stayed about $8 million, $9 million, $9 million, $9 million, $9 million, $9 million. And this was $9 million. For 2024, they're expected to have $18 million in total revenue, allegedly collecting $10 million in taxes. I wish I could do a 360 in my head, turn around like a damn owl. All that money in taxes and revenue seems to be coming from the people. Yeah. Sounds about right. Now, this is some of the expenses. I don't really want to get into that because I want us to focus in on these grants today. but we will get back to this document. So if you want to go into the expenses and things, what they're doing, we could get into that. We definitely want to get back to it when we get into youth, the youth spending. I'm gonna highlight that, and we're gonna highlight a few other things. So please let me know if you understood what I have shown you. Hold on one second. Senior and youth food report. Is this what y'all was looking for? Kathy, well, you was asking how much do they have? You talking about bingo prizes? Stop it, Kathy. You was talking about how much they get in the what before. You wanted to know how much they get for the seniors. I could probably try to find it for you guys. Kathy talking about for the damn bingo prizes. Thank God for Paul Roberts searching what's happening with the money and grants. Yes, Paul, if you ever want to get together with Grace Levi, baby, we could do this. I know you like numbers, I like numbers, and I could break it down. You see how I could break it down and talk about it. I know sometimes you was like, there's a lot of numbers. I would have broke them fucking numbers down for Jedediah. Like, this is this, this is this, this is this. So, Paul, if you ever need me, you want to come on this show and we talk about it, please give Paul my page. Please put me on the Thoughts in Politics, y'all. Let them know what I do. It ain't about drama. It ain't about being number one. It's about comprehensive knowledge spreading through the town. Okay? So, this is something that I'm going to get into. There go more grants right here. It was grants that came. These were grants that came in. These are other grants. These are general assistance fund grants. So the general funds got grants. The general assistance funds got grants as well. Ooh. Oh, whoa. Sorry, y'all. Oh, shit. I don't know where this grant came from, but daggone it. Excuse my language. Okay, this is the general assistance fund. Before we were just in the general fund. The general assistance fund, look at the grants. Now, they had an average about, I'm going to say $450,000 in grants for 2017 to 2019. 2020, we're talking about COVID money. They had a grant infusion of $621,000. This is what Paul is talking about. Oh, shit. Audit report for 2021, there was a grant infused for $2,309,000. Whoa. These are grants. Okay. In 2022, another grant, $5,681,000. That's why LNC and all of them are ignoring me. I think Henriette is telling them to ignore me because once they put my ass out there, we gonna get this shit. She like, no, don't let Grace Levi get there because she gonna get into these numbers and the people gonna realize, oh, now I'm realizing why these bitches ignoring me because y'all don't want me to tell. Woo! And this was just a little research I did in about a half an hour. I didn't even dig into this paper like I wanted to. I just wanted to see what it was working with and could I understand it. And damn, 2021, an infusion of $2,309,000 came into the General Assistance Fund. Please ask them, where did this grant money come from? What was the grant supposed to be used for? Did the citizen have access to it? And how was they supposed to? Those are the questions you should ask. You should also ask about the 2022 grant. Don't know what this one is, but we're going to go into these grants that I saw, like the description. But I know it's not the total amount of this. This is another grant infusion in 2022 of $5 million. $5 million infused. Oh my goodness. And then in 2003, guess what? It went right back down to the number of 776,000. And the reason why I say that is because what I said before, it is dangerous for a person, an entity, a business, whatever you want to call yourself, to get grants after grants after grants, loans after loans, high interest loans, and have high spending affinity. You cannot have a high spending affinity when the money is infused into your business. That is not real money. The real revenue comes from, as we see, taxes, investment income, other income that come in from other places. Okay? Donations, things like that. So we are finding some of this grant money, guys. And we'll get into the expenses too, not today, because that we already an hour into this, and I didn't even get to the detailed reports yet. Do you understand what I'm showing you, guys? Yeah, show me what I'm showing you guys. This ain't right. This ain't right. Now, let me move this off the screen. That's gonna be my babies. Please, y'all, go on to Thornton Township. Print this out. Y'all don't even gotta print it all out. But just print, have it on the screen while y'all listen to Grace Levi and just compare. And then y'all find more stuff and bring it to me. Okay. Now, what I found interesting is I saw this USDA like grant that was put into the budget. Now, before I go into where I found some information, let me see, can I show y'all? Thornton Township General Funds. This was a comparison of 2019, 20, and 21. Let me see what I can bring up here. Can y'all see it? All right. This document is the general funds. This is the 2021-20 budget appropriation of Thornton Township general funds. So that's the general fund paper. This is this paper. I'm going to show y'all where I get it from so y'all could go get it. I moved on it. I'm going to show y'all what I did already. We just finished this paper right here. Okay? Y'all see that? I'm on the screen. Hold on. I'm trying to make sure y'all see me. We just finished this one right here. Okay? Now we're going to go into these general funds. We didn't do the general. We're going into these detailed general funds. General funds. These are the ones I went into general funds. Okay, not the oh shit. I should have went in general assistant fund. Let me see something, y'all. I'm going to general assistant funds for 2021 and 22. I didn't even pull up that paper, but I'm gonna pull it up. General assistant funds. Let me see. Can I find where this $2 million came from? They ain't about to get me. Ain't about to have me. Let me move that. I didn't even pull that up yet, but I'm pulling it up for y'all because I was just in the general funds. And now when I look, I'm live. I'm like, oh shit, a lot of the money came into the general assistant fund. So let me see if I can find something for you guys. These are revenue. Ooh, okay. I'm always like, ooh, I'm telling my ass like, ooh, here we go. All right, Thornton Township General Assistant Funds. We're starting to find out where some of this money is coming from. So this is 2019, 20, and 21, the actual, and this is budgeted for 19, 20, and the budgeted for 21. So there's not actual numbers in 21, according to this paper. Loan proceeds. So in 2019, it does not give where this loan came from. Y'all had a loan of $1,500,000. Paul, 2019, loan for $1.5 million. Find it. Last you're gonna look. But let's ask those questions. Donation, TT fund donation, let's repay. Okay, payments. Okay, now this is what I found because I noticed that it was a lot of USDA commodities. The USDA commodities seem to be a fund that was given to townships and other places in Chicago, well, Illinois by the feds. And it was supposed to be for agriculture and development of farms. Kathy, if you ask about that. Now that's why I was like, wait, I found something. Now, a lot of that money, when it came in, it actually went into the general funds. That's what made me look. So this is kind of new because I didn't look at this yet, y'all. This is my first eye. Look, girl. Harvey Food Pantry. I got your answer for you, baby. Okay, look what it say. Oh my God, I'm finding everything. Thornton Township General Assistant Funds. So what is it saying? This was expenditures. So in 2019, Harvey Food Pantry, about $3 million they spent. Then they went to about almost $5 million in 2020 and about 6.6 million in 2021. That was the budget that they had spent on the Harvey Food Pantry. Is that Tiffany Henyard Food Pantry, y'all? Is that Tiffany Henyard's Food Pantry? Can somebody give me the answer? Because is that why she don't want the doctor's food pantry there? Can somebody help me out? We found it, Kathy. It says, shouldn't the trustees be able to find this financial information if Lady Grace can find it? I'm confused. Well, this is Thornton. And that's probably why Gonzalez on that shit like kryptonite, because he able to take his time and read it. Now, Thornton don't have this on their website, but she still should be able to try to get this. I don't understand. Everybody in the office don't work with Hinyard like that. So I don't understand why they can't get all the information. And I don't have all the time, y'all. I really don't. I don't have time to be doing freedom of information acts and things like that, because I'm not a total blogger. I'm not a total content creator. I am regular person like y'all that just love to share information and research, and I don't mind talking and shit. I just want freedom. So I don't have a lot of time because I have other things going on. That's why I asked you guys to be a family here. And us, this my platform is God platform, but it's y'all platform. So if y'all want me to go over more detail, I need you guys to send me info. Y'all out there. Damn. So yes. Babe Solo said yes. So that means that is Tiffany Hinyard's alleged pantry that she's pushing. Y'all see how much money? Y'all see how much money she putting into this shit? You think it was going in her pockets? Let's get back to the facts. What LNC and them not doing? Shots fired. Y'all know I gotta do it. I like punching bullies in the face. I ain't never scared. Pop. But I'm being a good girl today with my Chiquita banana shirt. All right, so we found it. Harvey Food Pantry. Over $6 million they got in 2021. Did you benefit $6 million worth? Okay. We have so much more to show you guys. Let me see. What is that? This is the depreciation. We're going to get into how much y'all lost. Let's not talk about how much y'all lost. The general funds. Now, the general assistance funds, y'all, this is what it pays for. Contractor service, workers' compensation, travel, training, building maintenance, office equipment maintenance, leasing, human resources, general liability insurance, utilities, rental expenses, telephone postage, account services, professional service. So all of that, when y'all asking where is the money coming from, it goes from the general assistance fund. Salaries are paid from there, medical, life insurance, payroll taxes, IMRF, I'll figure what that is, unemployment insurance, merit compensation. So it's coming from the general assistance fund. Okay? So we learned a lot here today, didn't we? Let me move on because I didn't even look at that page. I just happened. I was like, let me go on the general. Oh, wait. What's we looking for something? Don't let my ADHD kick in. Hold on. We looking for the infusion of money. Let me see if I can find anything else. So we did. Then we saw the grants. We saw loans. So we saw loans that came in 2021 and 2019 to 2021 in the General Assistance Fund. Loan, and this was the grant, the USDA commodities. Now, this is a grant, y'all, and I had to look this up. They just got about I'm gonna round it off, about 500,000 each year. If you add these up and divide them into 3, the average is about 500,000 each year. But there was a year that they got a lot of more money. And I thought that was a lot compared to what we just found that came in through grants of $7 million. And we don't know where them damn grants came from. Paul, I keep calling Paul. Paul, please help us. Okay. Now, but I think most likely I'll be able to find it. I just need to take my time and go through these papers. I literally just ran through this real quick. Now let's go into the general fund. Let's see because that was the fund for the general assistance fund. Let's go into the general fund for 2021. Now you guys getting an idea of how to kind of look at these things. Just look at one section at a time. Look at one thing you're looking for and hone in onto it. And then we're going to go back into look into the spending next week and go into like, damn. We're going to be like, damn. Because she over there spending from 2021 to now. The spending went up. Okay. So this is the revenue. We're still focusing on where some of this money coming from. Okay. So the state taxes stayed about average, close to $4 million for 2019 and 2021. And after that, it started going up. They had loan proceed. They had a loan Oh, so they have another loan. This is a separate loan because this went into, this is the general funds before the other loan proceedings. Because I can't get, can I get two on here at the same damn time? Let me see something. Let me edit. Add a camera start, add a dynamic grid. Oh no. No. What is that? Trash. Y'all can see what I'm doing? Hold on, let me see. Okay. Is that a camera? I don't want a camera slot. Y'all can see that? I'm trying to. Let me see if I can add another item. Participant, vertical alignment. What is this? Y'all can see that? That's to add another person. Damn it. Y'all, I'm going to get better. I'm going to see, can I have two things up here at the same time? Because y'all not going to be able to see it. I'm just going to have to explain this to you guys. So let's just hone in on this real quick. So y'all can see the difference. In 2021, no, where we at? Can y'all see it? Okay, let me zone in. Loan proceedings. Do y'all see this loan proceedings? Do you see loan proceeds? Do you see it? Loan proceeds, $3.5 million. And do y'all see that this is for 2019? Okay. And this is the general funds. Okay. Now, let me just, let me go into the general assistance funds on the page that we were looking at before. So 3.5 million went in 2019. That was COVID time. And now we're going to go into the general assistance funds. 3.5 million went in, and now you can see another 1.5 million went into the general assistance funds. 1.5 million, 3.5 million. You know, I'm a little slow here. It's all right. $5 million got infused in 2019. Paul, please tell us where this money came from. Now, I will tell you, when you do see the USDA, it is separate. This is another type of infusion. So it has nothing to do with the other loan proceedings that we just showed you. These are loans. That's loan, and that's a loan. Oh my God. I mixed it up. 3.5 in a loan and 1.5 in a loan. That's not a grant. Oh shit, that's bad. $5 million in loans, y'all. We found $5 million in loans took place in 2019 in Thornton Township. Wow, that is bad. That is really bad. Why is she keep taking out loans for the town that have these high taxes for residents to pay? Thank you. Wow. I'm stressed just reading it. I'm really like, damn, this is bad news because y'all gonna have to pay this back. And when I get into the details, hopefully it'll be able to tell us about the loan. But you know, I ain't gonna have no loan details, interest rate, and all of this stuff. But I'm gonna try. This is sad. What we gonna do? We're gonna start right here because we're about an hour and a half, and I gave you a lot of numbers. Need you guys to replay this. But I want you guys to look at this because there's another question I want you to ask, because some of that infusion of grant money, at least, we found $5 million alone. We don't know from who, but they have taken it in Thornton. But this is monies that got infused as well into your town from the feds. And I want to know, did y'all get anything? Okay, that's where I want to know. It's the USDA. When you asked about the food and the farms, here we go. There were money that was allotted to the town, and I could show y'all. I just showed y'all the USDA. It's at least 500,000 each year, and then you see in 2022 when I could show y'all that y'all got 1.5 million or something like that from them. What was that money supposed to be used for? So Illinois rule comprehensive corporatives, I'm sorry, receive more than 4 million in grants. See, I remember I was saying 4 million. I know I ain't crazy. I said 3 million. I don't know about 40 million, But it's $4 million in grants and loans from the USDA Rural Department. But that's not just the Thornton. That was how much money they just gave out in. Oh my God. So we don't know which one is which, guys. Now look at this. This we got to clarify this, Paul. U.S. Department of Agriculture, Illinois State Director Betsy today announced that the USDA is investing more than $4 million in loans and grants to SERP economic development, crystallize rural properties, and advance equity through rural cooperative Illinois. Last month, USDA collaborated with the 59th Annual National Cooperative Month. Cooperative, I'm saying it wrong. Okay, I do apologize. I don't know why it ain't rolled off my tongue. And the virtual role cooperative played in helping people build bright futures in rural America. So this USDA money that I showed you, she was at least getting 500,000, $500,000 every year. And I'm going to show y'all between 2022 or 2023, they got at least 1.5 million. And we don't know if this is a grant or a loan at this point. I thought it was just a grant, but we don't know. Okay. So this is just talking about some of the areas that they helped. They gave 200,000 grants to help fund operation in Illinois, somewhere else, rural countries. Rural states. So this is what I started to look into because I was like, what the hell is the rural development and what is the USDA and what type of loan was it? And what was she supposed to use it for? So again, they did another one for January. This is every year, and it's supposed to be based on agriculture. But it looks like that actual funds go straight into the general funds. Okay, so I'm not sure how this is supposed to be used, but you guys need to ask these questions. So this was January 2024. The U.S. Department of Agriculture Marketing Service today announced that it has cooperative agreement with Illinois under the Reliance Food System Infrastructure Program, RFSI. That looked familiar on one of these papers. That looks so familiar. Okay, through this agreement, the USDA and Illinois are working together to offer over $5 million in comprehensive grant funding for projects designed to build reliance across the middle of the supply chain. Illinois is accepting application for the infrastructure grant funding through March 15, 2024. In May 2023, USDA announced the availability of $420 million through the RFSI to strengthen the local and regional food system. So we definitely supposed to be using for agriculture, and you need to figure out how is it going to get to you. It says through these programs, AMS has entered in a cooperative agreement with the state agencies, commission, and department responsible for agriculture, commercial food processing, seafood and food system, and distributing activities or commerce activities in the state of U.S. territory. So RFSI is authorized by the American Rescue Plan. Update for each state. Requests for applications for this programs are available. So Tiffany Henyard, I'm not gonna say her, but her administration has been applying for this. This has been something very consistent, and this is one of the grants that I get almost every year. You need to ask her, what is this grant used for? How much is actually getting trickled down into community? As we already see, probably 6 million of this grant money went into the what is it? That food pantry? And who runs the food pantry? The Henry Food Pantry. 6 million went in for 2021. 2020, 4 million, close to 5 million went in. 2019, what we needed the most, and that was just at the beginning of COVID, it was 3 million. Harvey Food Pantry. So if you know people who work at Harvey Food Pantry, know anything about what's going on, they must be getting paid. We need to figure out what's going on there. Okay? So Kathy parties and other frivolous purchases, $1 million ice skating ring when there's only 5 minutes away. What it says, when there's only 5 minutes away. Shaking my head. I see some LNC followers in the chat. Be careful of who you trust. I know. Honestly, I know. I know there are people who follow LNC. That's why I did make my announcement in the last live that I went live, that I know you guys are out there in Thornton. Y'all have feet on the ground. Y'all know each other. Y'all know Tiffany Henyard. Some people are snakes in the grass. I'm not saying the ones that's on my page, but this is how I feel. I told my bro this too. I said, they're gonna send snakes over here. They're gonna be people who try to get in and act like they my friend to kind of control my narrative and what I say and how I say it. But once they get to know me, they know they can never control me. They know I work with the spirit of the Most High, and they end up coming over here to be informants or whatever, end up loving me and getting the Holy Spirit on their asses and feeling judged. Okay, that's how it usually happens. Those enemies come to try to me over, and I just start talking to them, being nice to them, being regular, and they can't even do shit. They be like, she's just amazing. She's fucking amazing. No, I'm not tooting myself up, but honestly, I'm a good person. So it's gonna take a lot. And then I'm not scared. I tell the truth. I read through stuff. Usually I know if you're coming over to be an informant. I have talked to somebody and I say, hey, do you know these people? Because when I got off the phone with you, my spirit told me. But it's all G. Because that person, I feel, came to be an informant, their heart is turning. How about that? And I'm not even saying no names. And I will still make sure that all of you guys keep your wrench. Because you can't sabotage me. Look, if y'all understood I went through what I have been through, ain't nothing you could do but the Most High. So, with that goes to say, I appreciate you, love, for putting me on point, because I know there's a lot of LNC people over here as well. And I see what y'all, but as long as LNC people are actually people from Dalton. Now, I will hope y'all coming over here to get this work and get this knowledge and not be over here for that ignorant shit. Okay? Because that's just showing me where your brain at. And that's just going to tell me where adults are going to go if you guys don't comprehend half the stuff that I'm talking about. So you can come over here and be a troll if you want to, but the Holy Spirit is going to judge you. And 9 out of 10, you're going to be scared to talk. Just like, what's her name is? Delilah in Burgundy Blue. Like I said, you scared, get a dog, baby. So anyway, I love you guys. I hope you guys got a good understanding, a better understanding of some of the financial documents that we can find on Thornton. I want you guys to go on Thornton website. I showed you exactly where to get this from. Print it out, compare and contrast to what Grace Levi was saying. Be like, oh, that's not true. Oh, that was true. Or this, whatever. Put it in the comments, because what we got to do is make sure that y'all prepare for the next meeting so y'all can ask these questions and stop arguing. Okay, stop arguing. Okay, we need to beat Tiffany Henyard's ass and get her to unass that seat. Okay, so before I go, y'all know what I'm gonna do. Now, I hope y'all do understand when I give y'all a exit, about 15-minute exit or 10-minute exit, there are messages in the things that I share with you. It's not just music. There are messages and there are things that I think my people need to understand. Okay, I'm going to try to be as surface as possible, but I'm going to always share with you guys the real covenant of God, what I believe that we need to know as people. Once we know who we are, what position we are, what type of curses we're under, how we need to repent, how we have a whole bunch of leaders that's literally taking us to the pits of hell, and no one's going to save us but us, but our knowledge and our due diligence and what we do to give to the community. That's the only way we're going to actually survive. I know I said a mouthful, but here go my message at the end, y'all. A word from my Hebrew brothers. Let's go.
Sky's on the track.
All praise to the Most High. Hey, last days. Allah, Yahweh, Bahashima, Messiah, Yasha. Hey, look, this right here for my Hebrews. Don't fold. You get tried in that fire, you real gold. A real diamond, an arbor, like let me test it. If you make it through that, then you get your blessing. It won't prosper, but you gon' see that weapon. Plead the blood of a marsh, y'all get protection. And y'all come up out the word, you need an exit. The day of the Lord coming so unexpected. I pray to Abba, I pray we make it through the tribulation. Psalm 91, keep him your habitation. Keeping these commandments that we have in patience. All this stuff going on, it'll have you racing. Faith in Messiah is the only way. I'm watching what I do, watching what I say. What manner of person I be up in that day? I don't want the father to look at me, be like, get away. I never knew you, but why that ole in your lap? You knew I was coming, why you told me that? If I don't spare the angels, I ain't sparing you. These the end times, so be careful. Bleed the blood, cause the devil about to dare you. To keep oil in that lamp, you need a barefoot. The commandments is the lamp, the law is the light. I'ma share I led the way so we could get it right.
Jamaicans, true Israelites. We love to see the wake up in our place. Cause we, remember, it's not Jesus God.
Would you like to learn a brand new and innovative way to invest your extra money that has a low barrier to entry and low competition? What if I told you that it is a guaranteed method to get up to 18 to 20% return on your investment? Tax lien and deed purchasing is the only way to get into the real estate market through the back door. No credit and no loans needed. This method isn't commonly taught, and therefore the competition is very low, for now. Put together a 14-hour info-packed course which will teach you everything you'll need to know to get started. Learn at your own pace, step-by-step guided video and aids to start you on the TLC deed investment process. The course offers many learning tools for new investors, helping ensure you safely invest in tax liens and deeds. Contact us today and join the buyback team.